Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And today I wanted to pull out my Hello Spring February 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit and scrapbook with the contents. So if you are not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it is Stampin' Up's monthly subscription kit. And it includes all of the supplies to make whatever that month's projects are. So this month it happens to be 9 cards. These are the 3 different designs, so 3 each of 3 designs, and I'll share those cards with you in a minute. But in the box is everything that you need. You might need to add in a pair of scissors, but other than that, everything is included. So you get an exclusive stamp set each month. So this is this month's stamp set. So it's got some great kind of springy kind of greetings, sending love for you, a couple little images. And these images coordinate with the optional add-on die. So this grass, that will cut it out. This little flower, this die will cut it out. And this is an optional add-on. It's called Spring is in the Air. And this coordinates with January, February, and March, I believe. Yes, January, February, and March. So they release a die every 3 months that coordinates with 3 months worth of kits. You do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get that add-on though. And then you get a Stampin' Spot, which is an ink pad. This month it's Petunia Pop. And you will get any adhesive that you need. So this month we got this massive sheet of dimensionals, which is fun, and a roll of tear and tape. With this month we also got some linen thread, and then all the bits and pieces that you need to create that month's projects. And this month, because we're cards, you've got some envelopes, and I love it when the pattern is on the inside as well, so you can take the envelope apart and scrapbook cut it apart and use it as extra pattern paper if you want. So let me set this aside here and let me share the cards that this kit makes. So I actually used some different greetings. So the greetings in this set, they are great, but they're not greetings that I will use. I won't use Hello Spring. I don't make a ton of Easter cards. Thanks for helping me grow. I probably wouldn't use that one. To a wonderful friend, that one I would use, and sending love maybe, but not a lot. So I threw in some different greetings. So this one I turned into a sympathy card. This one I turned into a birthday card, but the design is pretty much the same. And then this one I just did just for you. And all of these cards fit in these envelopes that come with it. All right, so those are the 3 cards that you're intended to make, but I like to turn around and scrapbook with my kit. So today I've got a 4x6 photo of my husband, my son, and I. We were on a new LRT line, which is in Edmonton, the city that we live close to. They had just opened their a new line of their train system. And so I think it had opened that day or maybe the day before. So we decided to take a ride on it, and we're heading downtown. My son had recently got a job at a restaurant in the Marriott Hotel downtown. And so he wanted to take us there. So we were heading there. The name of the restaurant is Braven. So I've got a little business card that I want to include as well. All right. So I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. I've got some of the bits and pieces that are intended for the cards. I've kind of pulled those out. I've got a few others, but what I've done is I've taken the 3 card bases. So these are the 3 card bases, and I cut them at 3 inches. So I cut 3 inches going down this way, 3 inches going down this way, and 3 inches going down this way. All right. So I've created basically 3 tags, and some of these tags have some things done to them, and I'll share what I've done on this one. So I wanted this to have like a little bit of a distressed look. So I'm going to roughen around the edges and a little bit more of a casual feel to it. So I'm actually going to do some doodling. So I like to use my Sharpie pen. This is what I use for all of my, almost everything that I write, actually. I use it in my planners. I use it for my journaling on my scrapbook layouts. I use it in my book journal. I use it everywhere. I love these pens. And I'm just going to freehand draw a line. I'm not worried about it being perfectly straight. I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch on each side. And you'll notice that I'm not moving my wrist. I'm moving, my elbow is down and I'm moving from my elbow. And that doesn't matter so much with these short bits, but with these longer bits, it does. So my entire forearm is moving. And that just helps make it a little bit easier to draw those lines. And then I'm going to take my snips and distress around the edges. So I've done these two already. Okay, so I'm just distressing around the edges, and then I'll position the 3 tags the way I want them on the white 12 by 12 background. And you can see the score lines there, but once we get everything stuck on, you're not going to notice those so much. So I had a leftover envelope flap from a previous project, just a scrap. I never throw anything away until I'm done with a kit. And I'm just using a 1/2 inch circle punch to punch some holes to make this more of a tag look. So it looks like it's got a reinforced hole. So I'm just attaching those to the top. And then I'll use a 1/8 inch circle punch to punch holes in each one of those, but I'm going to mark it with my pen first. It just makes it easier to get it in the center. All right, so I've got those roughly placed. My photo's going to go about there. And now I'm pulling in some of those pieces, those die cut elements from the kit. And I thought it would be fun to kind of have these tags attached to the top. So I'm just going to put them kind of off-centered. Covers up my reinforcement, but that's okay. Then punch another hole, just line up that hole where it was. And then I'm going to take the linen thread that came in the kit, feed it through, and tie a bow. And I'll do that for each one of those tags. And I love our linen thread because it's so curly. So the bows are kind of going in all different directions, and I left long tails. I love how it ended up looking. You'll see it a little bit better in the photos that are shared. Okay, and then I loved this kind of rickrack edge or zigzag edge. So I wanted to cut it off the bottom of the tag and add it to the bottom of my photo just for a little bit of interest. I will end up moving that, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, here I'm going to feed through the rest of the feed the linen thread through the rest of the holes. I probably could have cut this bit out. I love the colors in this kit. I didn't know what to expect with this kit. I honestly didn't think I'd like it as much as I do. All right, so I grabbed my quilting ruler so that I can measure in 2 different directions. So I think I left about a 2-inch border, maybe 1 3/4 inch border from the bottom, and then I'm just centering that first bit, and then I'm not going to bother using my ruler. I just needed to get that first piece kind of somewhat centered. Then these 2 pieces will just go about 1/8 of an inch on either side. I love the little tags hanging from the top. So cute. All right, so my photo is going to get kind of slid underneath there. And then I thought I would use one of these tags to create a little pocket to tuck the business card in and my journaling. But I need a place to add a title as well. So there's 2 different size tags in the kit. I decided to go with the longer one instead of the shorter one. And so then I needed to move that little zigzag strip at the bottom. I needed to move it over so that the tag wouldn't, or the pocket wouldn't cover it over. I think that's going to be good. All right, so we're going to adhere our photo, and I am going to tuck it underneath a little bit, underneath those tags at the top. And then I realized I had wanted to stamp. There is a little kind of a grungy looking stamp in the stamp set that comes in this month's kit. And I wanted to stamp a little bit of a background before I put my tags on. So I'm just kind of figuring out where I could stamp it without removing anything. So I stamped it, I think, 3 times down there, and then I'm going to do another 3 times up here, just with some basic beige ink, which is one of the colors that is in the kit. So I'm trying to figure out where to stamp that third one. I was going to go over the tag, and I don't end up going over the tag. I end up going off the page. And it's subtle. You can hardly see it in the video, but it does add a little bit. So here you can see I'm tucking the business card in to give me an idea of how much space I need. And then I'm going to create the pocket using the dimensionals on the back. So I'm putting a couple along that side, and then I'll do a couple, I think 3 on this side. And one of them is a little bit closer because I don't want the tag to be in front of my son's face. So I don't want it to be able to go all the way over to the left. So I positioned that extra dimensional there so that the pocket was specifically or purposefully on the right hand side. So then the tag fits, or the business card fits right in there. And then I wanted to stamp some of these little flowers. I'm going to use Petunia Pop, which is the color that you get in this month's kit. And then I'll use the coordinating add-on die to die cut those 2 flowers. And then those are going to get popped up and added to that little chive tag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace that tag on some white cardstock because I want that tag to slip into the pocket and it's going to hold my journaling. So this will be the front, and you'll see how I kind of put them together in a minute. So I'm just using that as a guide, trimming it so it's the right length. And then I'll use a pencil to trace around it, and then I will cut it. So then I'll just use my snips, and then I'll line them up, punch a hole through it, and then use a little bit of linen thread to hold the 2 tags together. And then I have some space to add some journaling. I could have just journaled on the back of this, but I thought it would be cuter to add that extra little layer. Plus, I think I might have more than just what I need on the back. All right, super cute. I'm loving how it's coming together so far. So now I'm just curling up a couple of the embellishments that came in the kit. I'm thinking of doing a little cluster off to the right there, but I want to work on my title first. So I grabbed the Documenting the Day stamp set, which is a celebration offering. So you can get this for free until February 28th, 2025 with a qualifying purchase. So I inked it up with Lost Lagoon, which is another color that coordinates with this kit. But because it's such a solid stamp and it's photopolymer, I used my blending brush to make sure that it was kind of evenly inked and you don't get those little bubbles that sometimes you get. And then that will be fuzzy cut. And then I'm going to position it on here. Now I fussed with this quite a bit to get it the way I wanted. I initially had 2 little leaf things on there. I ended up going with just 1. And then I'm going to use the words one fine day. I stamped those in Old Olive and then fussy cut them. And see, now I'm just kind of playing with this, trying to figure out where to put it, how to overlap it, how I wanted it to look. I finally just went with 1, and it's the die cut image that is the same as the top tag, the mint tag, in the upper left corner. So then I used dimensionals to adhere the word day, and I grabbed some coordinating dots. I'm going to use these old olive dots and just stick those on there. I'll put 2 in that area and then 3 in the other area, and then I'm done. I just love how this layout came together. So now I just need to add my journaling, and I'll try to include photos of the journaling in the blog post that corresponds with this, which will be linked in the description below. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.